everyone, it's Monique and Megan from Soapy Smooches again, and we're not dressed in our Soapy Smooches gear simply because it's just too cold, you know. Winter has arrived, and to our shocking dismay, because normally in May it's not this cold, but anyway, we don't want to be the bearers of cold news. Let's stick with what we know best.
Yes.
Which is pets and behavior and all that sort of thing. So today what we thought we'd like to talk to you about is running with your pets.
Yes.
So I see a lot of people running with pets, and I think when it's a big dog it makes more sense to me, because big dogs, you know, have got bigger strides and they can keep up.
Got generally longer legs.
Yes. So I've seen some people running with their Yorkies and their Maltese, and I want to kind of stop and pick them up, because my Yorkies can't run. And you know, it's also about when do we push them, when do we know, how do we know that they've run enough?
Yes. So I think that's a very good question, and I think it'll also vary, you know, from each individual person's pet to pet. As much as the small dogs do love the exercise, they usually do have huge amounts of energy. Their stamina might not be as much as one of your bigger dogs. So I think the key thing is to really just know your pet when you're running with your dog, whether even if it is a bigger breed, to always just be aware of how your pet is doing. Is your pet out of breath? You know, are they starting to limp? Are they starting to sort of trail behind a bit? You know, and really just try and keep in touch and be aware of how your pet is doing on the run. You know, with some of your bigger dogs as well, you know, like your Great Danes, your more giant breeds, they have a second problem where, as much as they have longer legs, they're often more prone to joint problems. So you also don't want to take, you know, your giant breed dog on a 10-kilometer hike
For a run.
Exactly, because they might start developing joint problems. But that being said, dogs do love exercise, but I think the key thing is to really just be aware of how your dog is doing with the exercise.
Moderation.
Yes.
And then, just as much as in summer, we got to be careful about the time we run or walk. Running is more the topic that I wanted to address today.
Yes.
But really, in summer, we know that, you know, 12 o'clock midday in South Africa, certainly, it's too hot because their paws will burn potentially.
Yes.
What about winter? Because, you know, seemingly the sun shines and it's not that cold.
Yes.
However, is it?
That's the thing. So I think, you know, if you could imagine walking barefoot or running barefoot, you know, how your feet would start feeling after a little while. It will get very sore. It is going to get uncomfortable. And although dogs do have tougher feet, you also just have to bear in mind that their paws and the pads on their paws can start cracking, especially if you're running through, you know, sort of frosty, wet grass, you know, and then going onto tarmac and back onto grass. You can imagine that that would be very uncomfortable for them, and it can lead to sort of cracking and the splitting of the feet, which can be very painful then when you're done with the running.
Yes. And then you need to use teeth cream.
Yes. Yes.
The teeth cream is actually there's a better name for it.
Yes,
I forgot what
milking
it's called.
cream.
Milking cream.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
right. I just call it teeth cream because that's easier to remember.
It's an amazing cream.
Yes.
If nobody knows about milking cream, it is a magical cream that fixes almost anything. So.
But we don't want to get your dog to get to that point. So anyway, I think, Megan, thanks for that. I think that's
absolutely.
what we wanted to talk to you about. Keep on running, keep on taking your dogs out, and have fun in winter. Bye for now.